Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Shaq Central, and I just wanted to give a quick update. Hopefully, it'll be quick. I know my Delve intro was a little bit long-winded, but just give a quick update on day one, what happened, where we are, and where the build went. A few unexpected things happened, so I just wanted to give an update, and I'll probably do a few of these throughout the Endless Delve week because I freaking love the league. It's so good. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go to small face mode over here. As you can see, it actually before we get there, you'll notice RDCI feels really good. Feels incredibly smooth. It feels like half the mobs just don't even have the ability to damage you, which is always nice. So now we'll go small face mode and we'll take a look. So first big thing, 88 and about a quarter. Probably could have been 89 pretty easily, except we've actually pushed pretty decently. We're at depth 160 right now. My current goal is to straight up just push through to the 83 level. I've gotten a few drops over here, which we'll look at in a second. I've gotten a couple of unique mobs that have dropped +2 levels, so I have a couple of items that are eye level 84, but that's really where I want to be, is consistent, like with rares dropping items that are eye level 84. So I'm trying to push to the 83 zones as quick as possible, and then from there I'll probably go sideways for a little bit just to build up that gear. That's eye level 84. I know how to talk, and then we'll go from there. So I really want to push as deep as possible. So I'm planning to go super deep, but I just want to get some of that good gear. So in terms of the gear, first thing, like I said, we did manage to get CI. I'll talk about that swap over in a second because that is recent. But that does mean that we get to run our full 5 really nice flasks. Managed to find a stib. I found about 6 stibnite flasks before I found a jade. And that includes, I was looking out for the flasks that can vendor recipe into a jade, and I still found like 6 of these. But right now I've got the warding, I've got the grounding, we've got Jade of Reflexes, which is really sweet to have. We've got staunching, and I've got it's not quite the Alchemist of Adrenaline, which the guy I was racing, the guy that I'm kind of like, we're competing with each other. He got an Alchemist Quicksilver of Adrenaline like 3 hours in. But yeah, so we're not affected by curses, shock, or bleeds right now, and it feels really nice. I'd like to ideally have this be Burning Ground instead of shock, but either way, I will take it. So for gear, it's pretty average. I'll be totally honest. I used the swords that I talked about in the intro video up to like level 60 till I finally found a +1 cold wand, and that's literally all it has. That's the only thing it helps me do. It's just a +1 cold wand. I'm looking to replace it as soon as possible. It's only item level 60. For a shield, we've got a good, actually this is a recent item, got a pretty good shield for where we are. 171 ES. It doesn't actually have a single resist on it, but we are still, if you notice, easily capped. We're at the 76 lightning. So our block, which I want to talk about too, we have huge, well, like, I shouldn't say huge. We have pretty good block for now, given that we don't have a roomies. This block is pretty decent. And the 26% spell block means we also have a lot of mana regen, which is really nice. So the majority of it is just very basic. It's gear with, I tried to get dex rolls on stuff when I could. I got a huge 45 there. There was one other one that had a good one. 20 there. That was pretty much just because it had good ES and decent resist, but we have some rarity built in. And I thought I had one other piece that had really good dex, but I guess not. I managed to find a crystal belt. I have a couple things incubating. I think currency and a Parandus item and one or something else, but those are not a big deal. And I've got boots that are pretty decent. Tri-res, no life or ES rolls, but movement speed and triple res. So the gear is super basic, and if you'll notice, only on a 4-link. As you get more comfortable with dodging, as you get more comfortable with moving around, that is by far the biggest thing that separates people who can push in Vortex with very little gear from the people who can't. It is almost all down to moving, dodging, predicting. It's down to your manual movements that save you. So if you're finding yourself getting stuck early on, it's very unlikely, unless you're just ignoring resistances or something, it's very unlikely that it's a problem with gear as opposed to learning the mechanics. I've played 4 digits worth of hours into Vortex, and I'm still learning how to play it even better. It's so much room for skill. So we're only on a 4-link. We've got the typical, like the Vortex and Cold Snap is exactly what you'd think. It's Vortex efficacy. We've got LE focus. We got hypothermia. Same thing. We do have Vol Cold Snap, which is huge. I would not be where I am without voling Cold Snap gems until I hit it. But yeah, hypothermia, bone chill, and the efficacy. Again, only a 4-link. What I'm doing for now, there's a couple different things. This is really where I wanted to just take a second and highlight. There's a couple different things you can do for gems. Again, we're not going to get the trigger stuff, so you don't have to worry about Frost Bomb. You don't have to worry about Stormbrand. You could try to work in Tempest Shield if you want, but I haven't yet, and I've been fine. What I'm doing right now is Orb of Storms, manually casting, and it's doing Power Charge on crit. It's doing increased critical strike, so I get that more often, and it's got Calling Strike on it, which has been real nice. So I've got that 4-link going, get a little Cull, get a decent amount of Power Charges, and over here we've got the typical Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, which I'm going to start leveling up soon. Once Flame Dash flips into its 20 quality, we'll start leveling up Arcane Surge to be in line with that. I think it's like level 6. We got Second Wind. For auras, I've had a lot of questions about this. So what I'm running right now, I'm leveling Discipline. No, I'm not running it right now. I am running Malevolence, and I am running Blasphemy Frostbite. I was running Skitterbots with Bone Chill. It only reserves, what is it, 30? It's 35% plus an extra 20%. So yeah, it's like basically 39% mana reserved as opposed to the 50 of Malevolence. So it saves you mana. Bone Chill works with Skitterbots. It's very, very good. But that's what I was using for a while, and I was able to get enough mana regen that running Malevolence and reserving like 85% or 85% is not bad. So that's what I'm running right now. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about. I thought this would be a really good defensive setup, but it occurred to me, this is one of those things you don't even think about. Rolling pure ES gear and getting 3 red sockets without the crafting bench is incredibly difficult and not worth the time. So I dropped that completely. My plan is to run a cast 1 damage take. If I can get 1 red socket on piece of gear, which is very easy to do, my plan is to run cast 1 damage taken and either run cast 1 damage taken Devouring Totem or run Void Sphere for some corpse removal. I've got a decent amount so far, but I really want more for the extra safety, so that may be something that I work in. But that's kind of undecided yet. You can see I've got the room for it. I'm trying to get a 5-link right now desperately. But yeah, so in terms of where I'm planning to go from here, and then we'll look at the skill tree. I really want to Frostbite on Hit Ring because then I can actually run Discipline and Malevolence, get a lot of defenses. Again, basically 5,500 without Discipline is a good spot to be in. You'll see on the tree I'm pretty much done with the respec. There's a couple points I'll probably move around, but you can see my ring has a lot of life on it. There's some life rolls like this one that I want to get rid of as soon as possible. So I'm looking for a Frostbite on Hit Ring that I can get from cold areas, and I'm looking for a 5-link big time. And then I just want to get to eye level 84 gear and start working on things like fingerless silk gloves, hopefully a shaper belt, crystal belt, things like that we can really start making this into some more endgame viable gear. I'd like to get 2 good rolls on the wand, whether it's +1, high spell damage, good cold dot multi-roll, something like that. A little tip that I've been talking, this is a mess, but a little tip that I've been reminding people, if you go to the level 2 delve zones, go all the way back up to level 2, get yourself a couple of driftwood wands. Doesn't matter what sockets it is, doesn't matter anything, just make sure they're item level 2 driftwood wands. This is the easiest wand to roll +1 cold gems on. So you can toss things on it like Essences of Woes. You can just roll in like alt spam. You can alch spam, whatever you want. These are the easiest things to roll +1 to cold gems on. So if you get a decent like spell or cold dot multi-roll and the +1 cold on it, you're going to be set with a really ridiculously good wand. So highly recommend working toward that if you can. And that is like mostly it. So I've gone a few different things with this tree. You can see I ended up actually just respecking all of this stuff. I don't need the resist. I don't need the Zealot's Oath, anything that we talked about over here, because now that I'm CI, I don't really need them. So I took a little bit more ES here. As you get deeper and we get to the point where things are hitting you for so much that your ES pool, like if you get past like 500, you'll start to get hits so big that having a huge ES pool isn't really even that huge of a benefit. But for now, I'm still stacking ES as high as I can get it. I've got ES nodes down here. I do have Dreamer for reduced mana cost of skills. It's been really good. It's Insightfulness too. So damage node, mana node with reduced mana cost, and ES node and mana node with reduced costs helps keep those costs low. And then over here, we've got the typical energy shield stuff, the intelligence stacking. We've got shield nodes, and I've got elusive. So 10% chance to gain elusive on kill, and we're routinely killing packs of 10 all the time. So almost always have some level of elusive up. No matter, regardless of its stages. And then right now I've taken deflection for more shield. So I basically got this entire shield node, almost entire shield node. I'm not taking pure cast speed, does nothing. And then we've got this shield node. So if you actually notice, we've only got 171 ES here, but if I take this off, we drop, what was that, 1100 energy shield to the build. We drop almost exactly 1100. So the shield is doing so much work in this build, which is why I want to find a really good one. Hopefully pump that ES up closer to like 300 to 400 and go from there. So like I said, the tree's pretty generic. We're going to, I think, probably get some damage through this side of the wheel. And if we can get some good jewels, things like that might go in here. Might take just the flat 16 node here. We got a couple options, things like Prodigal Perfection. So it's going to depend on what gear I get. Really, you may have noticed I haven't really had any uniques, any usable uniques drop, anything like that. Got a couple things that are, is it down here? I had a couple, like I said, item level 84 pieces drop. I think I put them in this. So just working on getting more basically, and then working on pushing. So my goal, like I said, is to push down to the 83 zones. And then sideways just to build up the gear, the bases that I want to work on, and then it's just straight. I'm going down. We're going down as far as we can make it. I think I'm somewhere in the like 2,500 to 3,000 range on the ladder in terms of depth, and we're going down. We're going down big time. So yeah, that's the plan right now. It's pretty decent. I've got a little thing here if I want to later on. That'll be fun. But yeah, just cranking out as much as we can. Gonna see how far we can get. I've got a good amount of a decent amount of fossils built up. I've got this of fossils built up. So I've got some currency to work with and some delve stuff once we start getting those 84 bases. That's pretty much it. I'm going to do a little bit more work and then hopefully get into some more delving tonight. And yeah, we'll have another video out, another update. Hopefully soon. Hopefully some cool things happen and I can show off, my sweet Chevron's wrappings, things like that. So thank you for watching. Yeah, if you like the video, subscribe. We'll be back soon with more updates and more PoE content. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day, everybody.